Good morning. I'd like to call the June 1st, 2021 bid board meeting to order. We have acknowledgement of a quorum. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from May 4th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 1, financial report.
All right, for the financial report, I think you'll see the biggest change since last month is the encumbrance for the lights and decorations. We had to put in the full additional 20% that we had allocated for the roof line lights project. So we probably will not spend that full amount, but you can see that we didn't quite budget for that, but we do make up for that in other areas that we don't probably plan to spend money on. So that's kind of the most significant change. And then under landscaping, before we talk about the Scott's proposal later in the meeting, just wanted to point out that we are within our budget by $100. So I guess just to keep that in mind as you consider the next proposal as well. That's pretty much it.
Any questions?
Nope.
A motion to approve.
So,
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, roof line lights update.
Sure. So included in the agenda packet is the map for Steiner Electric's work to be done in replacing the lights down on Main Street. And it's color-coded by day, and we also have a corresponding list of businesses and property owners that are also color-coded so we can communicate with them in advance. We plan to do so today and even multiple times leading up to the change. So CSOs are scheduled to assist Steiner Electric in clearing out the spaces in advance of their work to be done in the evening.
Anybody have any questions? I think it's pretty straightforward.
It is.
Yeah. It's exciting to see that they're going to be able to do it so quickly and have it ready for the summer.
Yeah. Okay, next item is the proposal from Scott's Landscaping to do street cleanup.
Yep.
So at the last meeting, there was a request sent in by one of the businesses to look at cleaning the streets. So we decided to get a quote from Scott's Landscaping. He broke it down, kind of in a lot of different ways. If we do the whole thing, it's $625 per. Or we can take pieces of it, or we can take none of it.
So how does this, I'll use the word, interact with what the city does for cleanup?
Well, the city, when Doug was here last time, he said they go through, once a month? Try to, but it depends upon the street cleaner, because it doesn't always work, and, that window could change. So they do it as much as they're able to with the constraints of personnel and equipment. Historically, in the past, if we go way back, the weed control, everything that we're currently doing, and this was all done by the city. And then when budgets were being cut in 2012 or 13, I believe it was, something like that, they took that cleanup out of there and put it on to the individual businesses to clean in front of their businesses and take care of their property in front of them. I do see them down there after events, cleaning and doing garbage collection and all that already from the city standpoint. So my personal opinion is this isn't needed.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. I think it was after the wine walk that weekend. I was surprised on Monday morning or whatever, somewhere along the line on Monday, that was pretty cleaned up from the weekend.
Can we reserve this more as needed and kind of see how the summer goes? Since you already quoted it, we know the cost.
I guess I look at it and say, it should be the business's responsibility. I also think it should be anybody holding events' responsibility to help clean up their area wherever they are, and keep it up. That should be, and I guess it's not, but I think it should be part of the permitting. It's no different than the conversation we had about the extra garbage cans, the last meeting that were, addressed as well. So, does it need to be done? Yes. Do we need to maybe, like we did with the weed control in front of our own businesses and the cigarette butts when that was brought up about the bars and stuff? And we went back to them and said, hey, you guys got to clean up after yourselves. I think this kind of fits into that. That's my personal opinion. If the group wants to do it, that's fine.
So could this be more of an on-call
That's what I
need?
meant.
Yeah, if the
That's
city can't.
We know what it costs now, so we could just ask for it when we feel it's appropriate. For now, it should fall on the businesses, no question.
Because I think if I recall last month from the city, it was more of a resource issue and maybe equipment, if the equipment's.
Right.
I think then whether it comes from the bid or from the city, but somebody should let the businesses know, like, we're asking that you please do this because we don't have the resources to come down here every week and pick this up. I don't think they know. I mean, maybe some of them do, but we're trying to showcase the beautiful downtown and the river and all that. And when somebody comes in on a Saturday morning for farmer's market and there's cigarette butts all the way along their walk to where the market is, it just looks kind of trashy. So if I did not know that I should be cleaning up my gutter area in front of my store. If I had known that, I probably would go out there with a broom dustpan on Monday or something, you know what I mean? So I don't know where that comes from, but if it's going to be my responsibility, then somehow we should be made aware of that.
We could easily send an email out to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, I find this very costly. I think that this
Yes.
proposal is
Yeah.
extremely costly. But again, if it's going to be our responsibility, we have to be told. And I don't think many of us would know.
Seeing as how we have Administrator Shambo in the room, I'd like to ask him a question on the permitting for events. Do the event permits not show a requirement to clean up after yourself?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to the question. I do know our parks staff is the crew that comes through after like Music on Main or the Wine Walk on a Monday morning and takes care of it. And we do that in part because they are utilizing the park. And so that's the Old Settlers Park area is where we're really focusing our energy and cleaning, not necessarily the entire downtown. But as far as the permit itself, having a parameter that they're required to clean up after, I mean, I know personally from being at Music on Main that there's a crew that comes in and tears down and cleans up to some extent, but it's dark and they probably do the best they can. And I don't know that they get it all. And the parks crew comes in the morning and takes care of the rest. It's probably not a great answer to your question, but we can look into that a little more regarding future permits.
Yeah, can you take a look at that? And if necessary, we can maybe bring something to the council to modify our permits.
Okay.
It just seems like cleaning up after yourself is sort of a basic thing.
And I know they do that. I just don't know to the extent, again, if it's dark and they can't get every paper cup or every cigarette, but thanks.
Thank you.
So we know what it costs. We should pause and notify every business owner. It's their responsibility. After every event, I know I'm going to have trash around my place. Fortunately, I have a building manager, so he takes care of it. But it's kind of common sense. You should clean up in front of your building, whether it's the curb or not. So we should tell everybody, and then we know what this costs. And worst case, if we have to babysit people, but pass on it and send out an email.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion or anything on any of this, so.
Right.
Because we really aren't rejecting it, we're just not accepting it.
Right. Sounds good.
So with that, the next item is to July. The meeting is scheduled what's the date on,
The
it's right after the
6th?
1st, or right after the 4th of July. So I want to make sure we're going to have enough people here. Or should we cancel the July meeting? No, we do not have an agenda. We can always create an agenda, but.
Or we can create a cancellation if there's no agenda.
We'll likely have some things to discuss around the outcome of the bid transportation board. So it might maybe put it off a week in July, hold it a week, not the,
Well, one of the problems with putting it off is this room's not available, so then we got to find an alternate location because they have court in here.
okay.
So I
Or we
guess
could all get charged.
I guess my inkling would be to keep it on the calendar. We can find out if there's something that is really pressing. If there isn't, Jess and I can make a decision to cancel it. Or if there's something we definitely need to talk about, we could then just have the meeting. If everybody's okay with that. But if a majority say, hey, I'm going to be out of town on the 6th of July, then it doesn't pay to do that. I will be available, but
Yep, just let me know, I guess, if you don't plan to attend that meeting.
Okay,
We'll have an understanding if we have a quorum or not.
okay.
sounds good.
All right. So with that, if there's any agenda items for that next meeting, let us know. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Motion, second.
He's quick on the draw today.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great day and have a great June.